What is going on, everybody? This is Bronco Juggalo, and welcome to Slashback Saturday. Today's topic is 90s slashers, and I am doing a movie that pretty much kicked off my channel. Today, I am doing a film that I've seen a few times, and it is a variation, actually, of one of my favorite films. Today, I am doing The Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween 6 Producer's Cut. This movie, when I got this on Blu-ray for the first time, this exact copy, is what prompted me to really want to start my channel. I had been thinking about it for a while, but when I got this movie in, I got so excited to watch it and then to talk about it that I did my first video. Now, I've already reviewed Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers before, and I'm not going to talk about all the same pros and cons that I did before. I did talk a little bit about the producer's cut in that review. Today, I am going to concentrate basically on the differences in the producer's cut and what I like and do not like about those differences. So this movie is directed by Joe Chappelle. It stars Donald Pleasence as Dr. Samuel Loomis in what is unfortunately his final role, as he did pass away before the film was finished. The film is dedicated to his memory, and I think that's very fitting, regardless of what I think of this producer's cut, and I'm going to get there in a minute. I love Halloween 6. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, and I really think it's awesome they dedicated it to him. It stars Paul Rudd as an adult Tommy Doyle, and a lot of people have criticized Paul Rudd's performance in this. Personally, I kind of like it. I think the dude is hella creepy. And it also stars George Wilbur as the Shape Michael Myers. Now, George P. Wilbur is my favorite Myers, and mostly for his performance in this very film. However, I do have to say, in this producer's cut, the performance is cut way, way back. And I did not like it as much as the theatrical cut, of course. The Cult of Thorn has Jamie. Jamie gives birth to a little boy who is to be the final sacrifice to Michael and his evil. Under their power, the cult also has Michael Myers, who, when Jamie escapes, goes on the hunt. Also known as Halloween 666, the producer's cut for the longest time was thought to be rumor. It was the direct work print of the original film, which, when tested with audiences, did not do well, and I can see why. So they changed a lot of the film, and they did what they did and made the theatrical cut. A few years ago, bootleg copies of the producer's cut began circulating on eBay. No longer thought to just be rumor, we realized that there really is a producer's cut out there. And then in 2014, they gave it an official Blu-ray release. And I'm very happy. I got this one. I have another one with the slipcover from Mill Creek. The video cassette slipcover, which is awesome. I was so excited to see this movie for the first time. I was so excited to hold it in my hands, to watch it, to see what had happened, to see what was different. This movie is practically a completely different movie than Part 6, theatrical cut. There is over 70 minutes of unaltered and completely different scenes in this film than in that movie. It's a 96-minute movie. There is only about 16 minutes of footage that they kept for the other film. Everything else was redone and reshot. So I'm going to get into my pros, guys. Pro number one is the opening monologue by Dr. Loomis. I really did enjoy that. I thought it was really well done. It was really well spoken. I really liked that monologue, and I thought it was a great way to start off this film, especially when you consider that this is Donald Pleasence's last film. In the theatrical cut, Donald Pleasence's role, his on-screen time, his performance was all kind of cut down, honestly. And even though I still think he's amazing in the movie, it's one of the things about the theatrical cut that I'm not very fond of. In this producer's cut, he gets a lot more screen time, he gets a lot more things to do, and he has a much stronger performance, in my opinion. And finally, I just have to say, I like Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd is creepy. And with all the added, or not added scenes, but the original scenes, he gets to really portray his creepiness quite a bit more. that's it though, guys, for my pros. Overall, this is not a hated movie. I do have some fun with it. I do kind of enjoy it, but it is not near as good as the theatrical cut, in my opinion. Some minor spoilers in this, so be prepared for that. I do not like that Jamie survives Michael's attack. Now, in the theatrical version, Jamie's death is horrific. It's one of the most brutal deaths in the Halloween franchise. In this one, he simply stabs her and leaves her there, and burns the Cult of Thorn symbol into into the barn. I think it's into some hay, but I can't remember exactly right now. She survives. They take her to the hospital. She is on life support. She is there in the hospital. And it is up to the Man in Black. And yes, Jay, he's still credited as the Man in Black / Dr. Wynn. The Man in Black, Dr. Wynn, who, spoiler, is the Man in Black, he goes into the hospital and he shoots her in the head. And I just did not like that at all. Totally just takes away from the impact of what Michael was doing. Something else about this producer's cut I do not like is all the kills were scaled way down. And we don't have near as many kills as we get in the theatrical cut. When John, the father / grandfather to David, is killed by Michael, in the theatrical cut, his head explodes. In this one, Michael just stabs him with the umbrella into the electric box, and that's it. Most of my cons with this movie have to do with the most changed portion of the film, the entire third act. The entire third act of this producer's copy is pretty crap. Michael being controlled by the cult. In the theatrical version, you can tell that the cult never controlled him. They might have held him, but they didn't control him. And in the theatrical version, he takes out the entire cult, which I love. That is one of my favorite scenes in the film. In this one, he is 100% under the cult's control. I do not like that at all. Michael is their puppet in this movie, and he's not supposed to be. They are supposed to be his cult. They're supposed to be idolizing him and trying to gain him on their side, which does not work. That's how the theatrical cut runs. That's not how this one runs. I do not like that Joe's right. They more than insinuate. They flat out come out and they don't say that Michael is the father, but the mother of David says, "It's your baby, isn't it, Michael?" And I do not like that at all. I'm sorry, but to make Michael have a freaking incestuous relation with his freaking niece, to create this child, that's something out of Rob Zombie's book, and I don't like that. I really, really hate that. In the theatrical version, it's much more open to interpretation, and I still like to say that it is Dr. Wynn's baby. My opinion. You don't have to share it. The fact that Michael is defeated by putting a bunch of fucking rocks on the ground, that makes no sense. The runestones thing, man, I really thought they were done with all the magic hocus pocus bullshit with Halloween 3. Why are they putting fucking runestones in here? The Cult of Thorn tattoo magically appearing on Loomis's wrist after Wynn passes out or dies or whatever. And Wynn grabs him by the arm, passes it on to him, and then Wynn passes out and then it appears on his wrist to insinuate that he is now the leader of the Cult of Thorn. Hated it. Absolutely hated it. It's absolutely terrible. I love the theatrical version ending so much better when he goes back in and Michael, you hear his screams and you know Michael has finally gotten Loomis. Something else, the ending, the way this one is so anticlimactic. Michael, subdued by the runes, gets Dr. Wynn to switch places with him. Wynn is laying on the floor in Michael's clothes and in his mask. And Loomis comes up. They do that switch that I was just talking about. And you see Michael walking out, and he turns his head, and he's wearing the Man in Black clothes. And it almost looks like Dr. Wynn again. The guy that played him, even though it was not... I don't think that was George P. Wilbur, but I could be mistaken. But it just looked very weird. I thought it was very anticlimactic as well. Because the movie just ends there. And it's like, okay. It just kind of went... They're basically right here. And instead of giving us a big rise climatic finale, we just went from here and just went, did not like that at all. So even though I do enjoy this producer's cut, mostly for the novelty that it is the producer's cut, I do not like it really. Honestly, I really don't like it that much. I have fun with the movie still. I can watch the movie. It's a good one to watch once in a while, but it's not one that I keep on heavy rotation. But I am still very happy to own this movie. This is Bronco Juggalo saying, I hope you enjoyed my 90s slasher pick. I hope you enjoyed this review. Go and check out all the other people doing Slashback Saturday, especially the creator of the challenge, Joe the Horror Man. He's created something amazing, and it's awesome. Please go and check out my Patreon at the HORRORMOB on Patreon. Join up if you can, if you want to. It is a great way to support the channel. My tiers are very affordable, and you get some really cool stuff for your buck, if you know what I mean. Also, you get access to exclusive content, exclusive reviews, behind-the-scenes footage, all kinds of stuff. This is Bronco Juggalo saying, peace.